Hello, my name is Nayo Ulloa. I'm a Peruvian American musician at this point. I've been a dedicated musician with the Peruvian music, and specifically playing the Peruvian or Andean flute called Quena. So I've been playing it for about 40 years now. And in 2006, I was fortunate to be invited to perform the first ever Quena concerto for Quena, the Peruvian flute or Andean flute, Quena, and symphonic orchestra. Now this work was done by a wonderful Peruvian composer, still living composer. His name is Jaime Diaz Orihuela. He lives in Peru, and he wrote this wonderful concerto specifically for me. I was very pleased. I met him when I was a young man. He always told me, I'm going to write a concerto for you someday. It took him 30 years. So, I don't know, he took him 30 years, so maybe he was waiting for me to get better so he can write this concerto. It not only pushed me through my limits, but also pushed the instrument, the quena, to its limits. So I did the best that I could. But after that concerto, I said, it looks like we need to make some improvements. Me, musically, I need to make some improvements so I can play this concerto better, have a better understanding of music. And also the instrument needs some improvements. So in 2006, I started a quest, first in California, then nationwide in the United States, worldwide for that matter. See if I can find somebody who can make me a better quena. And also a quena that was able to be attuned a little bit. So my quest took me to a state in the United States called Indiana. So it's close to Chicago, the state of Indiana. And within Indiana, a small city called Goshen. And I met a wonderful man. His name is Welden Friesen, a retired medical doctor, Welden Friesen. So I took the project to him, and he took it. And he made me several quenas. And this is one of the latest ones he made for me. Let me show you. This one, this quena. This is the 5th one he made, and it's the best one he's made so far. Now this quena had a lot of the things I was looking for. He added a few chromatic holes. Then he added this part that allows the instrument to be tuned. So you can move it up and down. You can even take it apart. Look at that.
Actually, you had started some modifications yourself. You
Yes,
brought
indeed, I did.
your favorite quena, and you had made some modification, and you had taken it to a local instrument maker, Jim Shank, who works actually with, he makes guitars, and he referred you to me.
That's right. That's how I found you. Yeah, because I was desperate, and I'm not a crafts person, but I started experimenting, just poking holes in different places, moving things, and I was improving, but I didn't have the tools or the knowledge how to make these instruments better. The concerto written by Maestro Jaime Diaz Orihuela required a very low sounding quena that did not exist. So I talked with Welden again and said, can you build me a big, long quena that doesn't exist? He said, well, how low do you want it? I said, well, this is the lowest note we need. He said, okay. And then he built this instrument that I'm holding in my hands. So this is a quena. It has all the features of a quena. And the main feature of the quena is the mouthpiece. This part. That's what really makes the quena unique. It's a flute, of course. There are many flutes in the world. But this part makes it unique. Because it has no whistle. Just a cut across. I don't know what you did, but this quena sounds better than any quenas I have ever played.
Well, I think that that was totally unexpected to me, and it seemed like every modification we made seemed to improve it for whatever reason. You said that the intonation of the upper notes was better, and
the reason is you know how to make instruments, but you never made a quena, did you?
Never made a quena before, no.
Never. But you told me, let's make it twice as large as this is the regular, and make it basically twice as big, right?
Twice as big, so it plays the octave.
Right.
Octave, yeah.
So this is the result of that of that that experiment in work. And this is a wonderful instrument. It sounds beautiful. And because you play the quena this way, it was too long to reach. So he bended it. He created this beautiful angle here. And in order to reach the lowest note, he added a key. So needless to say, I'm thrilled to have this beautiful big quena, and I'm calling it Hatun Quena, or Mama Quena. I don't have a name for it yet. And I'm hoping that some Peruvian friends that speak Quechua may be able to give me a good name. I'm looking for a good name in Quechua. I was told that Hatun means big Quena, Hatun Quena. I could be wrong. I don't speak Quechua. It's not my native language. Spanish is my native language, but this is the name I'm using right now. So this is the wonderful Hatun Quena, Mama Quena, that's going to be used to play the second movement of this work by Maestro Jaime Díaz Orihuela.
If one were to keep the grain straight there, then you need to put the hole actually is not in line with these, it's off to the side.
Right.
So I guess the main challenges with making this are to bore an accurate hole. And now if you start out with bamboo as this one is here, of course you have your bore already made, but then you have an irregular bore which may influence the sound of the instrument
When you
too.
say bore, you mean the inside hole.
The inside.
That's called the bore.
That's the bore, yeah.
Okay,
So I'm going to just go ahead and
begin with that.
begin with that. Okay, now if you want to go ahead and
Try it again.
Try it again. That's right on.
Okay, so we completed step number 1 of the intonation process, right?
Right.
Because, I mean, you build this is the bore, and you build this. Now we're in the process of beginning to intone, you call it intone?
Yeah, to tune it.
Tune it.
Yeah,
So we have the bass note tuned.
right.
And what do we do next?
We'll drill one hole here.
What I was looking for specifically were 3 features. I was looking for a quena that would allow me to play a little easier the chromatic notes. That means the notes in between the notes. Also, I wanted a quena that was a little better tempered. And tempered is a word that means to make the whole instrument in tune. Quite difficult in flutes in general. And third, I wanted an instrument that will allow me to tune it, meaning make it longer or shorter as needed to tune with the orchestra.
The other challenge is to make this in tune. And the way I've done this is to start with a hole in an approximate area, and then to gradually enlarge it till we have it in tune. And that's where I've benefited by your playing it, because you can produce a variety of sounds and intonations, and as you play it, you can give me feedback on what is the optimum size hole.
Yes,
for
yes.
that.
No, we worked on that a lot. But I noticed that the quena is a very difficult instrument for tuning. I don't know if it's just the lack of precision, and maybe it hasn't been documented long enough, but people just do it by feel, or if there's some scientific way to do this. I don't know, but a lot of quena that you play are out of tune. It's difficult to find a quena that is in good tuning, very difficult. Every time I used to go to Peru, I would try maybe 100 quenas to get 1 or 2, and even then were not perfect. So to make a very good quena, you really have to begin the whole process here, the mouthpiece, then work your way up in the instruments. And then it's your ear, electronic tuner, and the experience of the maker to make a good quena. So I'm very pleased with these instruments that Dr. Friesen made for me. And I'm not through yet. I keep finding little things that we need to improve. But part of it with the quena and flutes in general, also for tuning, a lot of the tuning happens in your ear And a lot of tuning happens as you play as well. It's not an instrument that's perfectly tuned like a guitar or a piano. Once it's in tune, it's in tune. You play it and it's in tune, not the flute. Any kind of flute, for that matter. How hard you blow, how fast you blow, changes the pitch slightly. So the final tuning is during the performance, but you have to have an instrument that's as best as you can tune to the to the standard tuning, which is A440, and you take it from there as a performer. In a way, it's like the voice. I mean, the voice is there. When you sing, you have to tune your voice as you go along. The same with the flute, and especially the Peruvian flute or Andean flute, that is a very simple instrument, extremely simple instrument. Not much to it, just holes in a cut here. That's all it is, a cut to blow across. Next week, I'm going to be showing this to the Maestro Jaime Diaz Orihuela. I know he will be pleased and thrilled to see this instrument called Hatun Quena or Quena or Mama Quena. I don't have a name yet for it.